Charlie, thank you. Katrina Baur, the mother of Elijah Vue, speaking out for the first time from jail after her son's remains were identified last week. Toddler Elijah Vue was initially reported missing on February 20th after he was sent to spend time with his mother's boyfriend as punishment. His mother, Katrina Baur, and her boyfriend Jesse Vang, seen here, face charges of felony child neglect in Elijah's disappearance. Baur is also accused of obstructing police. Baur remains behind bars, though both she and her boyfriend pleaded not guilty to charges, and their cases are still working through the justice system. But following the identification of her son's remains, Baur releasing a statement through her attorney to our sister station in Green Bay. It says in part, quote, that she's devastated by the news and that she had continued to have hope that her little boy would be found alive. At this time, she is mourning the loss of her son. Baur's next court appearance is in October.